How's it going, Rogues Gallery? Our friends over at DRAGONSHIELD recently sent me, well, a bunch of boxes of their brand new sleeves. Both the new sparkle sleeves as well as the new dual matte silver sleeves. Yes, they have dual mattes that have silver inside. And today, we're going to check these out. I sleeved a bunch of my decks up in the sleeves that they sent me, and I've been, play testing them out. I'm going to give you my opinions on them as well as, just how they look and all that kind of good stuff. Not just these two boxes, we have a whole bunch, but that's too much for me to hold. We'll showcase all the sleeves here. And for the sake of transparency, I do have an affiliate link with DRAGONSHIELD in the description down below, or you can type in Rogue5 at checkout to get 5% off your DRAGONSHIELD order on dragonshield.com. They've been a longtime supporter of Red Zone Rogue. They're literally my favorite sleeves on the market, and it's not because I'm an affiliate. They've just been my favorite sleeves forever. But I do want to give the caveat of, well, yes, they are my favorite sleeves on the market, but no, that doesn't mean I'm going to automatically recommend them and give them a good review. In fact, they do have sleeves that I don't like. In fact, I don't really like their anti-non-glare sleeves. I think they make the cards look ugly. So yeah, we're going to check these out today and give you my thoughts on them. Yeah, let's do it. All right, and these are the sleeves we're going to be talking about today. We have the dual matte inside silver sleeves as well as the sparkles sleeves. We have sky blue, nebula, green, yellow, and crimson for the silver, as well as the pink sapphire and amazonite for the sparkles. We're going to talk about the silver ones first because I'll just spoil it. These are my favorite ones that we're going to talk about today. I'm a huge fan of the dual matte sleeves. I literally use them for all of my card games where I don't do like character sleeves and double sleeving with it. And so we're going to talk about these. I also wanted to mention that they've kind of done something like this before. If you're familiar with these limited cobalt and silver sleeves that they put out a little while ago. They're very similar to these. I loved these, and so we'll see how they kind of hold up compared to these. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the decks that I have sleeved up. I sleeved up 4 of these. I did not use the yellow or silver ones, but I have ideas for this one in the future. So I sleeved up 4 decks using these 4 sleeves for Gundam, because I figured silver on the inside makes a lot of sense for like a mecha game. So I have some Gundam stuff. So let me go ahead and kind of set this stuff aside to make room. So I have my Gundam decks here. I have a lot of Gundam decks. You're gonna end up seeing a lot of them over the course of this video. So here we have my GQX deck that I have sleeved up in the crimson and silver sleeves. We can do this one at a time. So here we have the crimson and silver. I think these ones are maybe my least favorite of the bunch, just in terms of the color pair. I'm a huge fan of red, but for whatever reason, I just don't like this particular shade of red. I like the more like maroon shade of red. But here we have this deck. Here is the back side of it. I mean, I don't hate it. And on the inside, you could see they have this kind of like gray silver inside. And like I said, I sleeved up 4 of my Gundam decks and kind of jammed them together. And yeah, I mean, they have the same shuffle feel as you would expect from dual mattes. They feel like absolutely fantastic, easily able to like mash shuffle. They also have a great, just kind of like, I don't know what you'd call it, like fanning feel. Like it just feels great to like fan through the cards. They don't stick together. They're not like super loose. They sit easily. I even kind of like slapped it down a little bit to see if it would slide off. No, they're good. So yeah, I've been quite enjoying that aspect of these. So this is the crimson and silver. This deck that I pulled out here, this one is my Wing Zero deck, one of the meta decks in the Gundam card game. And this one I really like. As you can see, I kind of like themed them. So this is the apple green and silver sleeves. And I think these ones look really good. I think the green and the silver went really well together, especially for, a green-based deck. This is green and white if you play the Gundam card game. And yeah, this one, once again, looks fantastic. I've obviously paired these up with other Dragon Shields. Some of my custom Dragon Shield sleeves, as well as some other Dragon Shields as well. But yeah, once again, these look fantastic, and these are probably going to be my go-to sleeves for this particular archetype for a very long time. I think it just works super well. Looks fantastic. Once again, that's the the apple green and silver. And then the other ones, and I'm gonna need to scooch these off because I have a big box to bring on here. We have my my main Gundam card game decks. So I have this really nice Arsenal base storage box, and inside here we have my decks. And as you can see, kind of scooch some stuff over. I have 4 decks in here. 2 of these are sleeved up in the new dual matte silvers. One of these is actually sleeved up in a previous dual matte that had a gold inside. So I kind of want to show that right here. This one is the dual matte. I think it was like rose gold or something like that. This is a color of a red that I really like, and I think this one works really well with the gold inside. So I'm a big fan of these ones. I've been using these ones for quite a while. This is one of my favorite decks in the Gundam card game. In fact, all 4 of these decks are my favorite decks. And then I also wanted to kind of, before showcasing the last 2 of the silvers, kind of just show this. This a little bit different when it comes to the sleeves that I use, but I did mention character sleeves. And so for some of my decks, this is my main deck, my favorite deck, I actually use Gundam character sleeves. But the sleeves on the outside of this, the outer sleeves, are DRAGONSHIELD outer sleeves matte. So you still have the lovely shuffle feel of DRAGONSHIELDs, but you get to have your nice character sleeves, and it doesn't like mess up your character sleeves. So yeah, that's what I've got going on for this particular deck. So I'm gonna kind of slide that back on in there. All right, so these other 2 decks, I really like these sleeves as well. I think they look absolutely fantastic. I kind of wanted to front load the red ones because those are my least favorite, but the other 3 that I used look exceptional. I'm a big fan of them. They might end up being some of my favorites. So here we have the Nebula and the Sky Blue. So we'll showcase the Sky Blue ones next. This one works really perfectly for any, deck that uses blue in it. So here we have the back side of them. Looks really nice. And then the inside also looks really nice. Once again, I think the silver and the blue pair really well together. They just look exceptional. This is my Epion and Ariel deck. I've done a whole deck tech video on this deck before. And yeah, once again, awesome. These are going to be my new sleeves for this deck. And yeah, I'm a big fan of these ones. I can see me buying more of these to sleeve these ones up in other decks. I really like the green ones for that particular one because I just generally don't like green sleeves. And so the green ones kind of turn me onto the green sleeves. But yeah, the blue ones look fantastic. These are regular dual mattes for DRAGONSHIELD, by the way. So it has the black inside and then the colored outside. I do really like the regular dual mattes. Like I said, they're my favorite sleeves on the market. But I'm really liking these silver ones as well. I think they work very well for the Gundam card game. And then finally, we have the purple ones. We have the Nebula and silver. And I'm also a huge fan of these ones. I think they ended up looking really nice as well. So we have the back. And then we have the inside, of course, once again, themed around the color. So this one is my Tekkadan aggro deck. It's blue-purple Tekkadan aggro deck. We've got like your RX-78-2 Gundam here. Yeah, and once again, I'm a big fan of these ones. I really like these sleeves, and I'll be continuing to put, my Gundam decks in these sleeves in particular. Purple works perfect for the other purple decks for the Gundam card game. So yeah, once again, huge fan of all of these sleeves. I guess I could set them like this to better illustrate. This one we shuffled, so let's pick up the G-Quex off the top, and then here are these. So yeah, these are the silver sleeves. I'm a big fan of these. Like I said earlier, same shuffle feel, same quality as regular dual mattes. They just have like the silver inside, and once again I think they look fantastic, with the exception of I'm not as big a fan of the red one. You might be though. You might like the red one a lot more than I do. But I'm a big fan of these ones. I think they look really nice with the silver. And then finally, the one that I didn't use yet, and I'll do this eventually, is the yellow and silver. And I think this one could actually look really cool with the right kind of deck. So here we have silver on the inside, and then this kind of like bright yellow on the back. If you play Pokemon, man, this would look so great in like an electric Pokemon deck. Or like any sort of like industrial style card game. Oh man, this would look so good in like for the Cyberpunk card game that's coming out later, which has a yellow back as well. So yeah, big fan of these. Highly recommend them. They're literally just different color versions of my favorite sleeves on the market. So these ones are great. Let's kind of clear this up and we'll talk about the sparkle ones next. All right, so next we have the two Sparkles sleeves, Amazonite and Pink Sapphire. And for this, I tested these with a different card game. In fact, a game that I don't play a ton of these days, with the exception of this one format. And not to completely shield for Dragon Shield, but I use a lot of their products. All right, you could see it here. This is like this magnetic, like really nice deck box. Anyway, this is Magic the Gathering, but specifically, this is the Pauper format in Magic the Gathering. This is my favorite way to play Magic other than limited formats. And I was like, you know what? I have a deck that I really like. I have 4 Pauper decks right now. And I really enjoyed playing this one. This is my Is It Terror deck. And I was like, you know what? We could sleeve this up in the new Dragon Shield sleeves and give it a whirl. So these are the Amazonite sleeves, and here we can see the back. This is why they're called Sparkle, because it's hard to, you can kind of see it a little bit on camera. They do have like a faint little sparkle to them when you're kind of like flipping through, instead of kind of like the flat coloring. They do have like a sparkling texture. I would say these are pretty close to their standard matte sleeves, just in terms of like play, shuffle feel, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, they are exactly what you'd expect from Dragon Shield in terms of like just their regular matte sleeves, except, you know, they have like the new sparkly texture, or I guess maybe a returning sparkly texture in these new colors. So yeah, I think this looks pretty good. For me, I like the black inside of the dual mattes or the silvers or even the golds rather than these colors. But if you are a fan of this kind of stuff where the sleeve is all just one color, I think this is a great option. They look nice. They feel nice. Once again, they still have the same shuffle feel. Not quite as smooth. I mean, it's really smooth, but it just doesn't feel quite as good as the dual mattes, which are my absolute favorites. But still, like, very nice. Easy to pile shuffle or mash shuffle, and you don't get like too many cards getting, you know, hung up on each other or anything like that. So yeah, pretty good. And then of course my sideboard all sleeved up as well. As always, Dragon Shield comes with 100 sleeves per box, so that's enough for a 60 card deck plus 15 card sideboard plus whatever tokens you might be using. And then for the Gundam card game, Gundam is 50 cards for your main deck, so you can actually get two decks sleeved up if you're doing the Gundam card game, though you also have your resources and tokens and stuff. But I like swapping up the sleeves on those ones. So the Sparkle ones, yeah, I dig them. I think they look really nice. The other Sparkle ones here, we'll show these off. The Pink Sapphire is I really like this color, and I just need to find a good deck for these. I thought about sleeving up my Rakdos Madness deck in these, because I think these look really good. But those ones already have really nice black sleeves. So yeah, it's just kind of like finding. And I do really like this red color more than the dual matte red color. Or the silver dual matte red color. So I will say that. So I really like these ones. I just haven't found a good deck for these. And I assume they're the same quality as these. So yeah, they're really nice. I'm a big fan of all the sleeves they sent me this time. I think these are ones that all these I'm going to use and then use very well across all of the TCGs that I cover. So the final verdict is essentially the best verdict that I can probably give, and that is I'm probably going to buy more of these sleeves, especially the green, or the apple green and silver, the nebula and silver, and the sky blue and silver. I'm a big fan of these ones in particular. I really like the colors of these, and I'm gonna buy more of them. And these ones, as they're not dual mattes, are not my favorites, but I really like them, and I'm happy to use these in a couple of the decks that I have. But yeah, the dual mattes and silvers, these are where I'm at. I'm gonna buy these more, specifically for the Gundam card game. I think these look fantastic for Gundam. And yeah, let me know what you think of all this stuff in the comment section down below. Once again, not to shield too hard, but if you end up wanting to buy some of these, I do have an affiliate link in the description down below, or you can type Rogue5 at checkout on Dragon Shield to get 5% off your order. So if you wanted to pick some of these up, you want 5% off? there you go. Otherwise, nah, no big deal. So thank you all so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Once again, big thanks and shout out to our friends over at DRAGONSHIELD for sending these to me. And we'll see you next time for some more card game content. Later, everyone.